bomb could go off in this place and no one would be the wiser.
Can't believe Maxon brought the
Are you
Prickwin
ready
here.
to head up to the ship?
Those energy readings we picked up must have been more important than I thought.
Understood. Let me know when you're ready to depart.
Looks like it's gonna be a full-scale war.
Which means we better...
Need some custom hardware? We got a free work. Everything I got will keep you safe.
I'll take a look, sure.
Don't forget to stock up on ammo.
We buy and sell everything to everyone, except Sin. No sense allowed here.
Arturo.
You know, a shotgun's great insurance against...
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Don't forget to stock up on ammo.
Free shopping right here.
Win the game! Buy a swatter!
The hub of trade for all Diamond City right here.
We got small arms, long arms, ammunition.
My databanks are continuing to accumulate vast amounts of data regarding the Commonwealth. I trust you're enjoying my company.
Watch where you're pointing that thing.
Effective team. All systems are go, man. Everything seems to be proceeding according to plan, man. It's a pleasure to serve with you, ma'am. It's a rather pleasant evening, wouldn't you say? Don't worry, my ocular sensors are well suited for travel at night. Jackson ensured I was well built for travel. His modifications will be adequate for quite some time. We can keep traveling as much as you want. I don't require sleep or food in order to survive.
You'll find what you're looking for. You know it.
There's so much ground to cover in the Commonwealth. Where should we go next?
What gave you the idea we're friends?
Just wanted to trade a few things.
You can fix just about anything. Guns, computers, people. Just gotta have the right tools.
Yeah.
Carla.
Hey there. Trading?
Sure. Let's take a look.
Yeah, keep your shirt on.
You don't need the sight to see that you've done real good things, people. You remind me of myself when I was a young woman, always getting myself into trouble.
I wonder how long my systems will endure these rugged conditions.
Hey,
Go on.
That suit should tip the balance.
You're getting pretty chummy with that reporter, huh? Be careful there. The mayor's got it in for you.
Oh, I do hope you're here to make a...
Let's see what you got.
Excellent. Shopping at night? Diamond City Surplus is always open.
Nothing to see here.
Bellingham, the best you've ever made. Yes, the egg
Let's see what you have.
tastes for a sophisticated palate.
Come on, Darcy, let's go.
Take it easy. I don't think she wants to leave just yet.
Hey, this is between me and my wife. Why don't you mind your own damn business for once?
Oh, God, Paul, why do you always have to make a scene? Pour me another drink, Henry.
Damn it, Darcy, I just want you to come home.
I'll be home. Later.
I can't believe you'd do this to me, Cook.
Do what to you, Paul?
You smug bastard. You keep away from my wife, goddammit.
You'd better get out of here before you do something stupid.
You son of a bitch.
Don't hurt him, Henry!
Go on. Get out of here.
I'll be at home, Darcy, taking care of our son.
How are we doing on the hunt for
Sorry I
Eddie's
had to
tapes?
see that. Things are usually a lot quieter around here. Perfect place.
What was that argument?
You see, Darcy here, he's not a bad guy.
Shut up, I don't... You there! Why don't you make yourself useful and buy me a drink or something?
You don't look like you need another drink.
Aren't you all high and mighty then? Why don't you get lost so I can drink in peace?
Lighten up, Darcy. This isn't your own private bar, no matter what you might think. Now, can I get you something to drink?
So, is this your place?
That's right. Owner, name's Cook.
Let's see what you got.
Here's the menu.
I need your help with these schematics.
Oh yeah? What are they for?
A scientist named Virgil said this machine could get me inside the Institute.
The Institute? Why in the world would you want to mess around with them?
They killed my husband.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'd like to help, but you know my situation. I've got to deal with the immediate problems first. What do you say? Will you be the leader that the Commonwealth needs? Will you rebuild the Minutemen?
No.
I get it. But one day, I hope you change your mind.
Some days are harder than others.
What do you say?
But
Will
even the hard
you be
days
the leader
get
that the
easier
Commonwealth
than the one
needs?
before.
Will you rebuild?
No. I'm not your savior.
I get it. But one day, I hope you change.
Hi.
What do you say? Will you be the leader that the Commonwealth needs?
Okay. I'll do it.
Finally, something going the Commonwealth's way.
Good. Good.
Blah,
Don't worry.
blah.
I'll be right beside you all the...
Why are you calling me General?
The leader of the Minutemen has always held the rank of General. Our last leader was General Beck. The one good thing, now it's your job to make it more than an empty title. A pack of ghouls has hold... I'll mark it on your map. We can use all the support we can get. So see what you can do to help.
Excuse me.
You wanted help earlier. Some kind of machine to get into the Institute?
Did you know the Institute has a teleporter? They call it the molecular relay.
Teleportation? For real?
Huh.
If anyone can make heads or tails of those plans, I've heard that folks at Finch Farm need some help.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't be very good company right now.
I'm looking for weapons.
Yeah?
I'm afraid I'm not much use in a fight anymore. But back in the day, folks... used to call me Murphy the Map Woman.
My systems are continuing to function at peak efficiency.
What's going on?
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing. Let's see what you've got.
Do you think you can build this?
Wow. What a mess. Looks like, encrypted RF transmissions. Okay, so that gets routed through... What the hell? Teleportation. This is some pretty crazy shit. You sure it's for real?
I wouldn't be wasting your time if I didn't think it was real.
Okay. But you gotta admit, it isn't every day somebody asks me to build them a teleport hijacker. Anyway, the eggheads never think about the nuts and bolts of actually making something work. But, looks like it's all here. Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to study this thing. The handwriting's pretty hard to make out. But, you can get started on what he calls a stabilized reflector platform. It'll need some pretty high-grade metals, but it's basically not that different than the lining of a jet engine or something like that.
Can you give me a list of what I'll need to build this platform?
Yeah, sure. Here's a list of what you'll need for the first piece. I'm pretty sure we've got all that at Sanctuary, if you want to build it there. While you're working on that, I'll get busy figuring out how to actually build the rest of this thing. Keep in mind, I can already see this is gonna take a crazy amount of juice. Like if you had a spare nuclear reactor handy, we could probably use it. And it's going to be big. So find a nice open building site with lots of power available. How's it going? Did you find a good spot to build your signal interceptor?
Did you figure out the rest of Virgil's schematics?
I think so. Best I can tell until we actually try to put it together. Here's a list of 3 things that may be harder to find. I think I'll be able to pull together everything else we're gonna need. I'll meet you over at the building site and see if we can actually make this thing work.
Can you explain how this thing is actually gonna work?
Let me break it down for you. There's 4 main parts to this thing. 1, a control console to input the code and process the signal. 2, what he calls a relay dish. That's what intercepts the teleporter signal. 3, a molecular beam emitter. Gets pretty technical here, but looks like this is what translates your matter into energy for transmission. 4, the stabilized reflector platform that you already built. That's what concentrates and reflects the molecular beam. One thing to keep in mind while you're building this, it all needs to be wired together so all the pieces can talk to each other. I'll see you over at the building site. Good luck. good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Shouldn't we test it first?
I wish we could, but we've only got the one frequency code. There's no way to test it without actually jacking into the Institute signal. And as soon as we do that, we've used our one and only chance. As soon as the Institute figures out what we did, and I gotta believe those brainiacs won't be caught napping twice, that code we've got is useless.
Let's do this.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens. Whenever you're ready. Okay, hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. And don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it! Hold on to your butt!
Nuka Express is accessible through the Nuka World Transit Center. Parking fees will apply. Price is subject to change due to end of season. Nuka World, Nuka Express, and the Nuka-Cola characters are all registered trademarks of the Nuka-Cola Corporation.
Hello. I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
No way to pick this. Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Is that really you?
Who are you?
These bad people, they stole you from me.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, Daddy's gone, but I'm here. Mommy's here now.
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shh. It'll be okay, Sean. Mommy's here now.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Who is Father?
Father, help me!
Where is he?
He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Give me Sean. The real Sean. Right now!
I know. I know. You've gone to such lengths to find him.
I want answers, asshole. Now!
Under the circumstances, I will forgive your vulgarity. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the sun you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
They stole you. Kidnapped you. It wasn't right.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended on it. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Yeah, you lost me. I don't see the point of any of this.
You don't see the connection. Let me try to explain. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
"60 years. So much time. Wasted."
I know. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
He was a murderer. He killed your father.
Believe me, I am well aware of the atrocities Kellogg committed. I suspect there are many more we'll never know of. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation And that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So, you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
But, Director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position. Obviously. I've lived my life within these walls, dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. The Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here, in the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
I just don't know.
Just give it time. Give the Institute a chance. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Sean, about this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating project, really. There are issues to be solved, of course, but we've made remarkable progress.
You made a child synth that looks like you, It's an abomination.
It's a synth. Not a human being. A simulacrum. Try to be more open-minded. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an opportunity to interact with him further. But I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent looking for a child, looking for the younger version of me, what do you think? Do you think you could love him? Like you would a real boy?
This is all... it's too much. I just don't know anymore.
I understand. You've been through quite a lot. I wouldn't claim to know everything you're feeling, but if in some small way the boy's presence can help, I hope you'll keep an open mind.
Sean?
I often wonder what the Institute's founders would think of our accomplishments.
Nice.
This a clean floor. Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust? Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled, we can use your components to make something that's actually useful. Spend enough time here, and you'll be sick to death of the word synth. I certainly am.
Hi, Doc.
You know what happens when people get robots to do all their work? They get fat and lazy, that's what. Real people doing real thinking and real work. That's the future I want.
If that's how you feel, why not leave?
Because we could do so much more. But no, everyone is obsessed with these damn synths. It's wasted potential. That's what it is. In any case, I suppose I should say, welcome. Perhaps a fresh perspective will do some good around here.
Lawrence.
There's a lot of hubris around here lately, and I don't care for it.
Tony Delano facilities. Air filtration's on the fritz again. It's like a constant haze in here. I swear to God, if these people don't quit smoking, I'm gonna sue for health benefits.
Look, Director, I'm gonna make the same recommendation I did last time. We did everything we could. 4 years dedicated to preserving this Commonwealth provisional government. You've seen the same reports I have. It's falling apart and fast. We need a plan for what happens when that fall is complete. I know some of the other divisions have suggested we just cut off all contact, hide underground and pretend nobody's home. That would, in my opinion, be a mistake. We can't just give up on these people, and with the Android program, we don't have to. We'll soon have the capabilities to deploy androids to the surface in great enough numbers to maintain order. Just think about it, all right? Keep it in mind moving forward.
Welcome to the Institute, ma'am.
Hi.
It's an honor to have you here, ma'am.
Is it true Food Supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one. Can't we keep it a little longer?
I will be happy to forward your request to the Bioscience Division. In the meantime, please feel free to enjoy one of our other nutritious and flavorful food supplements.
I want Supplement 77.
I am sorry, sir,
You're here.
but that supplement
Glad
is
you
no
made it.
longer available.
Useless machine. Father's work has been a real inspiration for me.
The commissary is always open. Would you like some processed sustenance packets?
What have you got?
I can offer a range of nutritious and great-tasting food supplements. Food Supplement 7 is very popular for its spicy flavor, and Food Supplement 91 is our newest offering.
Sure. Let's take a look. Excuse me.
Hello, ma'am. Welcome to the commissary. What can I get for you?
I'll take a look, sure.
Hello. Please ensure that your dietary requirements are being filled.
Excuse me.
I can't imagine living on the surface. It sounds like a nightmare. Please don't get any germs on me.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum. Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so after this meeting. The last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls. All right, that's all for now. You can resume your duties.
Remember to practice good sanitation habits at all times.
I fix one relay and 2 more start to fail. At least I'm not bored.
Doctor?
It's a real juggling act, trying to keep all the systems down here operating in the green. This place might look shiny and new, but there's a lot of old technology in these walls. I lose sleep worrying about when the next blackout's gonna hit.
How old are we talking about?
Well, the reactor and a lot of the related systems. You know, cooling, monitoring, power distribution. That's all pre-war tech. Most of the superstructure down here was built later, by the people who survived the war. I guess each generation's been tinkering with the place, adding labs, making upgrades, and so on. There's some stuff I need to check on. See you around, yeah?
Dr. Thompson.
Power demand jumped another 5% this year.
It was probably just a glitch in the valve system. Refine over-control software and use an update.
If it were just a limb twitching, but
father's a great man. You must be
Involuntary
very proud.
twitching and rapid eye movements while sleeping can only mean one thing, Max. You just don't want to admit to yourself what you do.
If you're about to launch into one of your passionate speeches about artificial sentience and machines for souls, don't bother. I've heard enough of them by now. Write them down from memory.
But we can't just ignore the question. If a synth can dream, why can't it have a soul? And if a synth has a soul, then it is a living person by every standard you can imagine. Of course it is far more comfortable to think of them as machines, so we can do what we want with them.
If you disapprove of the work we do here, Dr. Benet, you know where to find the teleport.
Just a moment. I never said that. I'm simply trying to open everyone's eyes to new possibilities.
Well, it's an unwanted distraction. We're men of science, not philosophers. You do well to remember that. All our divisions are important.
Welcome. Please proceed directly to All new synths must be processed without delay.
We're quite fortunate to have the synths with us. Doc? It's you. You're finally with us. I'd just like to apologize for any trouble our synths may have caused for you on your way here. They, of course, couldn't be told of your identity. And they have very specific protocols for protecting themselves and their interests. Most of which I designed myself. But not to make problems for you, will you be staying with us then?
I'm thinking it over.
Well, I hope you do decide to stay. It would mean a great deal to Shaw. If you require anything, especially as it pertains to synths, please let me know.
With our third generation synths, we've improved upon humanity.
Welcome to the Institute. Please step forward.
The synths are treating you well, I hope?
Synths aren't just Father's legacy. They're his gift to humanity.
Hey, Doc.
You've arrived at a momentous time. Our third generation synths are a true breakthrough. How the nature of synth is understood. It's no exaggeration to say that they're superior in almost every way to human beings.
I can understand taking pride in your work, but I think you're getting carried away.
You might not think so now, but just wait. You've only seen a fraction of what our synths can do. Their potential is limitless. Like I said, a momentous time.
Dr. Logan?
With our third generation synths, we've improved upon humanity.
have a spare polarizer on you, would you?
Scanning unknown identity. Clearance confirmed. Scanning. Subject identified. Operating at full capacity.
I apologize for any disruptions that my work might cause you.
Primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Thanks again.
Of course. We're all looking forward to working with you.
Excuse me, Doctor. They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water, and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
I'm not on board with anything.
No? And yet here you are, poking around. One might find that suspicious. If you're not planning on staying, I'd recommend keeping your hands to yourself. Wouldn't want to give the impression you're up to something. And consider having another talk with Sean. He really is anxious to have you with us. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
Who built this place, originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it.
Allie.
Hey, what do you need?
I'd like to know about the people in your division.
Of course. Dr. Lawrence Higgs is our mechanical engineer. He oversees the major life support and security systems. Power distribution is Dr. Evan Watson's area of expertise, and Dr. Newton Oberly is in charge of food and housing. He coordinates with bioscience to ensure that our meals are balanced for optimal nutrition. We also make use of a number of synth units for low-priority maintenance and labor.
Dr. Fillmore.
What's on your mind?
It must be a challenge to meet the power demands of a place like this.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course. Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes.
Excuse me, I've got reports to deliver.
Mankind redefined.
It's catchy, isn't it?
Remember, health and happiness go hand in hand.
When are you going to tell me about this mysterious Phase 3?
You know I can't talk about that.
Father's work has been a real inspiration for me.
Hello. Did I turn off the interferometer?
Remember to conserve power at every opportunity.
Theoretical limits are made to be broken.
Dr. Orman's lecture on cold fusion was nothing short of a revelation.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Excuse me.
Father has accomplished so much. I hope you can appreciate his work as we do.
Hey there.
Have you seen my girls? I hope they're not getting into too much trouble.
Well, that was productive.
If you ask me, we're only scratching the surface with the latest synths.
Doc?
Oh, hi there. Sorry if I seem distracted. I memorized 5 sets of design schematics, and now I'm doing detailed mental comparisons.
What kinds of blueprints?
Mostly components for a new plasma pistol concept I've been toying with. High-energy weapons are sort of a hobby of mine. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I just wanted to say how much I admire Father, and that it's an honor to meet you. I really hope you'll stay here with us.
Dr. Orman.
One day, I'll design a more efficient reactor to replace that old clunker in the basement. Sleep is such a waste of time. I'd rather be designing more efficient plasma reactors.
Excuse me, Doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't interrupt our work.
I get the impression you don't want me here.
What I want, in this case, is largely irrelevant. Father gave his orders. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
A Courser chip? What's it do?
The same thing it does for our coursers. Creates a link to the relay that allows them, and now you, to get in and out at will. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Now, unless there's something else, I really do need to get back to work.
Tell me about the people in your division.
I'm not sure what there is to say. Dr. Watson is the Specialist Project's lead scientist. He's, how to put it, very organized and precise. Dr. Ormond is one of the youngest scientists in the Institute, and she's something of a prodigy when it comes to physics.
Dr. Lee? Is everything okay, Dr. Lee? You seem pretty tense.
Yes, things are... It's fine. I'm sorry, I don't socialize much. I prefer to focus on my work.
Dr. Lee? I'd like a progress report on your division, if you don't mind.
Taking your new appointment in stride, I see. Very well. We've shifted resources off of other projects, like the Child Synth, to focus on Phase 3. I'm hoping that the above-ground efforts are successful. I understand those depend heavily on you.
Child synth prototype may truly be the key to...
Three levels of approval. Do you believe that? 3!
We don't usually welcome outsiders. I hope you can appreciate your good fortune.
You had time to examine my latest reports on batch
Rosalind is
274.
as smart as she is beautiful.
I've been reviewing
just
Father's plans to
wish
expand
I
our
could get her to
operations
notice
more.
me.
He's
Good
eager
to
to
see
get
you.
that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
It's hard to
I
stand
wonder how
out
the
when you're
Warwick
surrounded
family
by
is doing.
geniuses.
Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here.
Dr. Holdren's Synth Gorilla project is showing promising results. I can't imagine living on the surface. It sounds like a nightmare.
At least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine and hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well... I suppose you're right.
Liam's been trying to teach me robotics. It's more complicated than I thought.
It's great to have you here.
Hey, Doc.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
Like what?
I was just about to explain that. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end,
We cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
The gorillas are synths too?
They are indeed. Judging by your reaction, we've done a good job making them seem lifelike. The initiative is still in its early stages, but the prospects are very exciting. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is, but I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm an outsider. Would there even be a place for me here?
Even if science isn't your passion, there are plenty of ways to contribute. Our projects sometimes require an agent who can work on the surface to observe and gather information. From what I've heard, you are both fearless and resourceful. I think you'd be ideal for that kind of role. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Tell me more about those synth gorillas.
On the whole, I'd say they were a success. Their behavior does generally match what our historical data says it should be. Unfortunately, we had a few early setbacks. The creatures can become suddenly aggressive, and they're quite strong. They destroyed 2 of their synth handlers. So now we keep them in an isolated habitat where they can be safely observed.
Clayton.
Good to see you again. Did you need something?
You mentioned medical care? I might need that from time to time.
In that case, you'll want to introduce yourself to Dr. Dean Volkert. He's our top biologist and also serves as the Institute's resident physician. Dr. Volkert works in the infirmary. Just pay him a visit whenever you need to. You won't find better medical care anywhere else in the Commonwealth. I'll promise you that.
Dr. Holdren?
Something I can do for you?
Is there anything I can do to help out?
There might be. Tell you what, you get settled in and check back with me later. I'll see what I can find out.
Negative sensor read. Weapons cold.
Sweet.
We have a situation.
Just as you gave life to Father, he gave life to many of us.
Why can't a synth be a person too? I don't really see the difference.
Theoretical limits are made to be broken.
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours. Ransacking my quarters in the middle of the night is totally unacceptable.
I'll pass along your message, Doctor.
See that you do. People on the surface have got it pretty bad. Makes me thankful for being down here.
Hi, Doc.
Welcome. Welcome. It is so good to meet you. I truly hope you'll come to think of the Institute as your home.
What do you do here?
Oh, I'm in charge of housing and provisions. It's my mission to ensure that everyone lives a comfortable and productive life. You should know that many of us consider it a great honor to have you here.
Newton.
Our new synths are so lifelike, I keep mistaking them for real people.
All systems nominal.
I'm seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
So much research, so little time.
Carry on, ma'am.
Maybe I should take some courses with me. You know, send a message.
Please don't. There's enough friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
You going soft on me, Alana? My methods get results, and they will this time as well. You'll see.
Like any machine, a synth can malfunction. Just wish it didn't happen so often.
Good day. Sometimes you have to lean on the other departments a little to get what you need.
Doctor?
So, here you are. Justin Ayo, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider. The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's only natural to take extra precautions, It's nothing personal, I assure you. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
Why would synths want to escape?
Synths do not want. They might look like human beings, but they're machines. As to why they're escaping? That matter is currently under investigation. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I'm no stranger to combat.
Even so, a Courser should be more than a match for any single combatant. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
If you're the acting head of the SRB, who are you filling in for?
Dr. Zimmer holds that position. He's supervising the retrieval of some of the more high-profile units. In his absence, I keep things running smoothly.
Dr. Ayo.
Yes, what is it?
You mentioned that coursers undergo special training. Tell me more about it.
The SRB constantly monitors our Gen 3 synth population, looking for specific traits. Those who show tenacity, fearlessness, and independence undergo a rigorous training regimen. We teach them armed and unarmed combat, investigative techniques, psychology, and mechanical skills. Those who pass a final evaluation become coursers. The rest have their memories wiped and return to their former duties.
Justin?
What do you want?
The Directorate
And
should
please,
take the
make it
synth
quick.
escapes more seriously.
I'd like to know more about the synth reclamation process.
Fine. Once a courser has located a rogue synth, it uses that synth's recall code to wipe its memories and render it inert. We then begin the delicate process of restoring the neural pathways to their original configuration. In those cases where the procedure is successful, the synth returns to duty with no memory of its time on the surface. All too often, we're unable to repair the damage and are forced to dispose of the unit entirely.
report anything suspicious to the SRB.
Nothing to report, ma'am.
I hear we're about to get a new food supplement. You smell like you've been above ground.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute firsthand, what do you think?
I've seen my share of think tank science labs.
Oh, I assure you, none of them were quite like this place. Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused on a single goal. The goal is best summarized by our motto: mankind redefined. Unfortunately, no advancement comes without occasional setbacks. As remarkable as our synths are, they can be dangerous without proper supervision. The superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a recipe for chaos.
So it's like every other wonder gizmo ever invented. When will you eggheads learn?
Have faith. Let me show you how we deal with such problems. A rogue synth has taken over the Raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the Raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him and reclaim that synth.
Who erased his memories? And why?
Those idealistic radicals who call themselves the Railroad are behind it. We'll deal with them in time. But right now, the priority is to reclaim that synth before more harm is done. Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger, and a delay could cost lives.
Son?
The sooner that synth is safely back in the Institute, the better for everyone.
Never fear, man. I will ensure your safety to the best of my ability. I must apologize for the odd noises I'm currently emitting. A consequence of being mechanical.
Huh? Speak up.
At least now I'll have time to work on my pi to the last digit calculation.
Here's that holotape you gave me. Full of Institute data. I hope.
Well, all right. I'll start digging into this and see if I can make heads or tails of it.
What do you hope to find?
Whatever the Institute doesn't want anybody to know. All the good stuff on here is going to be encrypted. So the first job is to see if I can crack it. After that, well, I'll have to see what I've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe.
Self-diagnostic complete. I'm happy to report I won't be falling apart on you anytime soon. You lead the way, and I'll follow, man.
Hey.
Do something for you?
Hey, Valentine.
How we doing on the hunt for Eddie's tapes?
Still searching for him.
Just let me know when you manage to get your hands on him.
I used to be quite the adventurer when I was younger.
Traveling with you is proving to be quite uplifting.
Do I look like I want to chit-chat?
Don't take offense to Marcy. She's working through the loss in her own way.
My onboard functions are operating at full capacity. Never fear, man. I will ensure your safety to the best of my ability.
We ran into some hostile robots today. They were pieced together, like the ones we've been making in that workbench. Weird thing is, one of them was spouting something about the Mechanist. That they're here to protect the Commonwealth.
Jeering, leering, laughing, mocking, taunting.
Oh, he graduated all right from high school. It's fine, I'm sure he took shop class. Oh look, he's reading the sign.
Damn it! Worthless bastards. Scattered like radroaches the moment they saw their first ghoul. I've spent months.
It's half past. She's late. No. Something's wrong. Someone's coming. Look. 5 of them. It's a trap. Damn it. They've got us surrounded. What do we do? Where am I?
Personal record. Dr. Brian Virgil. This will likely be my last recording. My requests to shut down the FEV program have repeatedly been denied. We've learned nothing useful in the last 10 years. Why does Father insist on continuing it? If he won't see reason, then I have to take matters into my own hands. What we're doing, it's not right. It needs to stop. If anyone should find this after I'm gone, know that I never wanted to hurt anyone. Anyone. Do you understand me? I'm gonna make sure the whole program is shut down. If not for good, then at least for years to come. After that, I know what I'm about to do will be seen as a betrayal. Treason, he'll probably call it. So, I'm leaving. I have a plan. And if it works, I'll be somewhere safe. Somewhere not even the coursers can find me. Everything that we've done, the lives we've taken. If there is a God, may he have mercy on us all.
Pip-Boy doesn't shine thieves.
Say we get out of here.
Well, I'm glad to see the relay didn't completely vaporize you.
Did you expect it to?
No, of course not. It was far more likely that it would just blow up. But it didn't. You made it in. Were you able to find the serum?
What serum?
We had a deal. It should still be. With any luck, they haven't found it yet.
Virgil.
Please, you have to find the serum.
I've got it right here.
That's it. That's really it. All right. Let's see. Retrovirus has matured nicely. Density gradient is high. Recombinant counter-intron sequences look stable.
Protect and serve.
Transcriptive exon strands have formed.
How are you going to test it?
On myself, of course. That was the plan. This serum will only counteract the specific strain of FEV that I infected myself with. There's no telling what it might do to anyone else. All right. Here we go. And now, we wait.
How long will it take?
I don't know. Nothing like this has ever been tried before. I'm going to rest for a while. I'm back in a few days, maybe a week, and... well, I guess we'll see. In any event, you kept your end of our bargain. Thank you.
Virgil?
Whatever happens, thank you.
Protect and serve.
I'm going to get some rest.
Virgil.
We just have to wait.
One day, Sanctuary will be a vibrant community. I've seen it.
How long my systems will endure these rugged conditions? I trust you to join my company. You and I make quite an effective team. I must apologize for the odd noises I'm currently emitting, a consequence of being mechanical in nature.
I expect you'll be leaving me behind. Typical.